Alright, welcome back everyone. As I promised a couple weeks ago for my channel subscribers out there, here's the M92 review that you've been waiting for. This gun's relatively new to the market. Just came in probably 2-3 weeks ago, and there's been a lot of questions out there on the forums and the gun shops about it. So we're gonna try to answer some of those today. Just the only thing that I've changed so far to this gun is I did a little polishing up. We'll get into that in the tabletop review. Some rough areas that were on this gun when I got it. I added the Manticore night brake here, and I'll zoom in on. You guys can check that out for the 26mm threading. And I did a little staining of the wood because the wood was just ugly and dirty. We're not going to do too much shooting out here today because shooting with a pistol, AK, is somewhat impractical in my opinion. Basically, so far I've put about 150 rounds through it. All have been trouble-free, zero malfunctions whatsoever. But I'm going to put a few downrange here, and basically it's probably going to go up in storage until I get my tax stamp back, because this gun obviously is optimized for an SBR. So turn around here, shoot the paper bad guy on the box a little bit, get into the tabletop review. After that, we'll do a chronograph test to see what kind of velocity we're getting out of this short barrel here. All right. Not sure if you guys can see it from the camera angle, but when you're looking down that barrel, you definitely see a little bit of a flame coming out. It's kind of fun. But up next, guys, it'll be the tabletop. Well, time for the tabletop review here. This is as the pistol comes, and I'll show you everything it comes with to answer that question for you guys. Obviously, it doesn't come with the brake and the wood refinish, but this is what it comes with. It comes with 2 Yugo bolt hold open magazines. As you see here, mine were either brand new or like new condition, so they're in awesome shape. Comes with a cleaning rod, even though the handguard's not cut for a cleaning rod, so explain that one. But anyway, that is what it comes with. It comes with the threaded muzzle nut. We'll get more on that in a minute, but that's how it comes. Put that to the side and get into the details there. All right, basically the barrel here is 10 inches. For those of you guys I'll try to knock out some of the major questions here real quick. The muzzle nut, one of the big ones. It's a 26mm threaded muzzle. All you have to do is cut the spot weld off, which I'll try to get it in camera here for you guys, which is right here. Cut it off, takes 2 seconds with a Dremel. Then the thread protector pops off. You can go ahead and mount whatever kind of thread protector you want on there. I have a Manticore night brake, I believe it's called, on there. There is no detent pin. That's something to keep in mind. You absolutely can just put one in there. It's not a difficult process. As you see, the pin is here in the back as well. You just pop it in place. That said, on this one here, I don't have one in there now, but that brake is on there extremely tight. Reason being, underneath the muzzle nut is a ton of crud. I don't know how else to say it, but it's very dirty. It's very nasty. Stuff under there. I cleaned it twice with Ballistol, brake cleaner, and then some CLP. Still putting that brake on there is tight just because there's so much crap in there. I got a ton of it out, but it's still tight. Anyway, moving on from that. Overall, the gun is extremely well built. The finish is excellent. It's very smooth, even throughout the pistol. Everything's tight. So one of the comments I've been seeing on the forums is just how tight it is. People are complaining. The safety on this gun, as you can see, it's somewhat difficult to move, but it was extremely difficult to move when I first got it. I had to file down some of the material underneath the tab right here to get it to move more freely, as well as I filed some underneath where it interfaces with the receiver. While we're on the topic of the receiver, there's some rumors out there there's a 1.5mm receiver. It's not. It's a 1mm receiver, just to clarify that one. We'll go ahead and talk about the sights. Try to get it so you guys can see these in camera here. All right, so as you can see in the back here, there's 2-dot sights. One marked with 2, and then you flip it down with a 400 meters, so that's just your distance. I think 400 meters with this gun is kind of wishful thinking, but anyway, it's there. As you guys can see there, the notch was very thin. I filed it out a la the Rifle Dynamics sight job, I guess you could say, sight adjustment job, opened it up a little bit, so it makes it a lot more easy to see that front sight post. It does help a lot. The front sight, you guys can see it, it flips up if you want. This is originally a night sight. Obviously those night sights are long dead for the current pistols, but the option is there. You get a kind of a flash picture. I tried firing, look at it a little bit. It is easier to pick up the front sight. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it's an option out there for you guys. Let's zoom in so you guys can see that. Flips up, flips down, out of the way. The handguards, the wood they come with was very dirty. So I cleaned it up, refinished it. This is Minwax oak, I believe. I may put a gloss finish on there as well, but that's where I'm at with that. The pistol grip here is nice. It's not a thin little pistol grip. It's not big, but it's a standard Yugo pistol grip. It does come with a bolt hold open safety. Now, let's discuss that for a second. So you put the magazine in, bolt holds back, right? One would think when putting the safety notch, they would align it, but they didn't. So if you want to hold it back, you still have to pull it back, lock it up, and then do your mag change, insert, drop the safety. Obviously, if there was a real round in there, it would go forward. But it's just something to think about. It doesn't quite line up. So why they did that like that, I don't know. Getting into the pistol here a little bit. I'll open it up for you guys. Now, the action here was really rough. Pulling it back, I polished up the inside of the receiver. I polished up under here where it interfaces with the hammer. Polished up the hammer as well. Trigger surfaces, I also polished the inside of the rails to make it run a little smoother. It made a big difference. The gun was just really tight, like I was saying earlier. But that's what it looks like on the inside for those of you guys that didn't see my preview. While we're at it, the rear trunnion here, for those of you guys wanting to put on underfolders, here's the serial number, which is where an underfolder would go. Basically right around in this general area is where you'd have to drill out. Now, there's two, I guess, different schools of thought on doing that. One is that the ATF put out a letter, and I will post a link to it on my website. You guys can actually read it yourself, saying that you can't move a serial number. Okay, that's true, they did. Conversely, it's also been ruled, and I'll post a link to this as well on my website, so you guys can read it for yourself and not just some internet lawyer. They also say that if you manufacture the weapon, the manufacturer can put it wherever as long as it's .003 inches in depth and blah 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 blah, and they list out the restrictions for how you have to mark it. So if you SBR the gun, then you become the manufacturer. For those of you that are familiar with the SBR process, so it's my opinion that you could move the serial number if you wanted to put an underfolder on there. That said, if I was going to do that, which I'm not, I plan on just putting a regular stock on there. But if I was going to go that route, I would get that in writing first. That's just me being safe, because it's not worth playing around with. One man's opinion right there. As I stated before in the previous video, all the serial numbers match on there. Back on topic, guys. All the serial numbers match, which I know a lot of people are very concerned with. For those of you guys that don't know how these handguards come off, you just, once the top guard is open, push that little knob there, off comes your top handguard for cleaning. And once you put the cover back down, it closes back up for you automatically. Trying to think of some of the things I missed here. Well, just general specs here is reliability. Like I said out there, the range, I believe I had to put 150 rounds through it. I put a total of 7 mags through, so we put 210 rounds through it. All ran flawlessly with 0 malfunctions. Kind of a flamethrower, as you guys saw out there, but that's to be expected with the short barrel. For those of you guys that don't want to go the SBR route and want to put a sling attachment on there, a new product out is the AK47. Looks like it would work perfectly in this rifle. I'll try to find a link for that and put it in the video description. If I don't, just Google it. It's out there. A couple other things here. The handguard size, it's the Yugo handguard size, something to keep in mind. That's pretty much it. We'll get it out here. Since you guys, a lot of people have questions about whether or not these are have the 922R part swap on there. It's imported as a pistol, so they don't play that game. They don't have to. So it's all original Yugo factory parts, or Serbian, however you want to look at it. We'll pull the trigger here and see what kind of weight it pulls at. You can see that on the gauge, it pulled just over 5 pounds, which is probably a little heavier than the average Tapco trigger, but a little bit lighter than the average Arsenal trigger, just to give you a range at where it pulls at. All in all, guys, it's a very high quality rifle. It's well built, or correction, pistol. It's an excellent candidate for a SBR, which I probably will do. I don't know if I'm going to put a bracket in the back here, or if I'm going to just redo the rear trunnion and put a standard stock in there. I'm not going to put a folder. I don't like folders per se. I have some, as you guys have seen, but I prefer a fixed stock. That's just me, though. As always, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Next up will be the chronograph test to see what kind of muzzle velocity we're getting out of this barrel here. I'll put some numbers in there as well for the standard 16-inch barrel with the same ammo, just so you guys can contrast that. That's it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Time for the chronograph test here. As usual, we'll be using the Full Metal Jacket Golden Tiger rounds. We'll be firing from a distance of about 10 feet. The temperature out here, just to let you guys know, is about 80 degrees. Quite humid. Fire a few shots here and see what kind of velocities we get out of this barrel. That should be enough for a decent average.